Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah and today I'm going to be filming the newbie booktube tag. I love watching these videos. I have a couple vlogs on my channel, but I haven't done a sit down video yet where I'm just talking to the camera, and I just thought that this was the perfect one to start with, obviously. So I have the questions right here and we'll just get started. I tried filming this yesterday, but it didn't go that great. I needed to redo it. So the first question is, why did you start this channel? I've been obsessed with YouTube for so long. I love watching vlogs, and then I got really into booktube in about 2019, and I wanted to make a channel so bad. I just wanted a safe space to talk about books, but I didn't think that I would be able to talk in front of the camera or film my life. I'm pretty shy, but I made a couple TikTok videos recently where I was talking, and I realized it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. I wouldn't say that it's easy, and I'm probably not the best at it yet, but it's not as hard as I thought it could be. And I just got a new camera, so I was like, I may as well just start making videos. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I love this community so much. I just finally pulled the trigger and started the channel. All right, and the next question is, what fun and unique things can you bring to booktube? And I would definitely say the fan art that I want to be making on this channel. I do bookish commissions for some of my book besties over on Instagram, but going into the new year, I really want to be more consistent with making fan art and incorporate it into the channel. I would love to do book review videos where I'm drawing some of the characters from the books, or just showing my drawing process. I love drawing my favorite book characters. I love drawing some of my favorite musicians and doing commissions for my book besties. And I just feel like art and books go hand in hand. What are you most excited about with this channel? And I would definitely say the community aspect of it. I have been a silent watcher of booktube for a very long time, but I am really involved in the Bookstagram community and a little bit over on Book Talk. So just going into this community as well, I feel like just booktube feels so safe, and I really love watching the community over here. So I'm excited to be a part of it. I don't really care about monetizing this channel or anything like that. I just want it to be a safe space for me to talk about books and to make new friends and just enjoy the creative aspect of editing and filming. Just from the couple videos I've made so far, I wouldn't say that they're the best editing or filming or anything, but they are already so much fun to make. I thought it was just going to be pure work, but it's really, really fun so far. Why do you love reading? Obviously, I love the storytelling aspect of it and the community, but also back in 2018, I was having a really bad mental health struggle, and one of the things that was making it worse was just that I was on my phone scrolling too much. To get myself out of that rut, I wanted to make a challenge to myself where I was going to read 100 pages a day, and I could not check social media until I finished those 100 pages. And then another part of that challenge was that whether I had already finished the 100 pages or not, right before bed, I needed to read for 20 more minutes. And after I closed that book, I could not check my phone. I had to have it on the other side of the room. And once I started that 20 minutes, phone time was done for the day. So I wouldn't be scrolling on my phone while I'm trying to fall asleep. And that helped my mental health so much. I just love how with reading, it can help you get off your phone and out of your own head and just take you into a different world for a period of time. I'm not very good at reading challenges, but that is one that I would do again and that I would recommend to anyone that is struggling with mental health at all. And I got to read so many books during that time that I probably would have never picked up again because I was challenging myself as well to read classics, and that's something that really intimidated me for the longest time. We love reading because of the storytelling and just because of how fun it is, but that is another side of it that I really, really love about reading. All right, the next question is, what book or series got you into reading? That's really hard for me to answer because I've been a reader my entire life, but for the longest time, I was the type of reader where I would just have a book going, and that book could take me anywhere from a month to a year to finish. So the book that got me back into reading, where I was reading every single day, was Jane Eyre. When I did that challenge to myself that I was talking about, I really wanted to do that book first because I love this movie adaptation so much, and the book really intimidated me, and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to finish it because at the time that seemed like a massive book to me, and I just thought if I don't read it now that I'm never going to read it. I'm forcing myself to read 100 pages a day, So I'm going to read this book. And I ended up loving it so much more than I thought that I would. And I connected with Jane's character so much, even more than in the movie. And I loved the book so much that I ended up getting a tattoo of a hand holding the book because it means so much to me. And I don't really read classics anymore, but if you do see me reading classics on this channel, it probably will be rereading that book or any of the other Bronte sisters books. Like I want to read Wuthering Heights again soon because of the movie coming out. That book just means so much to me because it really, really got me back into reading. All right, next question we have is, what would you ask your favorite booktubers? I don't think I would ask them any questions about their personal life because if they wanted to share that, then they would. But I think that I would ask them about the behind the scenes of Booktube, all the editing, the planning, how they stay so disciplined because I'm not the most disciplined person and I still have so much to learn with editing. Sarah Caroli just did a couple videos on her TikTok where she was showing her editing process and I just find it so fascinating. And I love watching videos like that. I would also ask them book related things, but also they already share a lot of that stuff on their channel. I would definitely ask them about the behind the scenes. And what challenges do you think will be the hardest to overcome with Booktube? For me, definitely the planning and editing. I work a full-time job. I work a lot of overtime, so just finding the time to edit can be a little bit difficult. Luckily for me, I have insomnia, so I do stay up late editing, but I do want to be more disciplined where I just start doing that right when I get off work so that I'm not up all night doing it. And when did you start reading? I kind of already answered this when I talked about the book that got me into reading. I've been a reader my whole life. I grew up on a ranch, and when you grow up in that setting, really all that you have to do, then this was before the internet, really all you had to do was go outside. And I'm not really an outdoorsy kind of person, so I would usually just be inside reading. I did go outside to play with kids in the area and stuff, but I didn't have that typical upbringing where you could just go see your best friend from elementary school whenever you felt like it because they lived so far away out in the country. I would definitely just be reading all the time. Just kind of be like going in and out throughout my life of being a reader that would read every single day and then a reader that would just read sporadically here and there. I also went through a really big graphic novel and comic book phase where I was reading those every day and then not reading novels as much. And now, just ever since 2018, I have not let it go and I have not gotten out of the habit of reading almost every single day. Where do you read? I'm pretty much always reading in bed. I live with my sister and her boyfriend. I don't want to disturb them, so I'm usually not going out into the living room and reading out there. I just got a new chair that reclines, so I have been reading in that chair a little bit, but 90% of the time I'm reading in bed. I also love going to coffee shops to read. If I'm being honest with myself, usually when I get to the coffee shop, I'm way too distracted to actually read, so I just take my book with me and then get a couple of pages in and then leave. But I do like I like trying at least to go to the coffee shop and read. All right, and then what types of books do you like to read? My favorite genres are dark academia, but I only really read that in the fall and winter because I want it to be super atmospheric. And then I read a lot of gothic fantasy or just fantasy in general. I read a lot of literary fiction and romance in the springtime. And then in summer, it's almost exclusively romance. I get on a huge romance kick in the summer every single year. So I wish that I wasn't the type of reader that had to read with the seasons. I think that most of us are. But it does make it a little frustrating because there's all these books I feel like I'm never going to get to because I just can't read them if it's not the right season. So yeah, basically, I read mostly literary fiction, romance, horror. I really like horror, but it can't be too scary. I just want it to be kind of eerie. I read thrillers, but mostly in audiobook format. And a little bit of everything except for nonfiction. If I read nonfiction, it has to be something like Eric Larson, where it's nonfiction, but it's written in a story format instead of just listing out facts. That just makes me fall asleep. Forgot to also mention graphic novels and manga. I recently saw that Heather McClary is reading this manga and I got so excited because I absolutely adore it so much. If you are a romance reader and you don't read manga, you are totally missing out. What does your book collection look like? I'm going to show my shelves, but I'm warning you, it's going to be pretty triggering for some people. They're super chaotic. For my main shelf, the couple other little shelves I have scattered around my room are a little bit more organized. Okay, switch over to where my shelves are, and I feel like this is going to trigger a lot of you because there's really no rhyme or reason to my shelves. I have series out of order, just like a Mod Podge, okay? I like a little bit of cozy clutter, and I am going to organize this soon, but I just haven't had the time lately, so it's chaotic. It doesn't make any sense, but here are my shelves. So these are my main shelves. I have a couple others that I'll show you. Look up there. That's where I keep a lot of my favorite authors. I have Emily Henry, Allie Hazelwood up there, and then the top shelf is all Leigh Bardugo. So that and my classic shelves is probably where they are most organized. Those up there that you see, those are just books that I've acquired pretty much since the beginning of summer and I just haven't put away yet, or maybe I pulled them out for a video and I haven't put them back. Over here I have my Lila Sage, and then just a couple other random books, and then this top shelf I have mostly romance, but I have romance sprinkled around all over my bedroom. This is where I put mostly fantasy and dark academia. And then down here, this is where I'll put literary fiction and horror and thrillers. But then you see I also just have these random books here that I haven't found a place for yet. And then over here, it's kind of hard to see the rest of my shelf behind my desk because I don't have a lot of space in my room, but I have some of my Carissa Broadbent books here. I just had her sign those recently when I got to meet her, and that was really special, so I have them on display. And then I just have some random books down here. And then this is my little classic shelf. Probably only read like half of them, but I don't think I could ever part with them. All of these I had to get shipped from the UK because they're not available in the US, and I just love these. So at the end, there's all my Jane Austen. I love those. And then I have this little stack of Bronte Sisters books right there. And at the end, there's just some mass market paperbacks. I don't know. I love these cheesy looking mass markets. Then up here, there is some Russian fiction and then Sherlock Holmes. I've never read those, but I just thought that the covers were really cool. My little Tolkien collection. And then this over here, there's two of those are just Jane Austen books collected together, and then there's 3 Edith Wharton novels. This book here, this is Glasstown. It's actually a graphic novel about the Bronte sisters, and it is really, really cool. I could never part with that. I'm obsessed with it. Over here, I just have my graphic novels and my mangas. On that bottom shelf, there's some more books that I just have randomly placed there, but it's super messy, so I'm not going to show you that. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm super excited to really get consistent with my channel. If you're a newer booktuber, please comment your channel below. I'm trying to follow some new booktubers. I like watching smaller channels. It's pretty fun. So I will see you guys in the next video, most likely a vlog. Thank you so much.